All right, gang. So today we have a really cool interview. We're going to talk about the music industry today, which is always fun to delve into. And I have two veterans in the music industry with me today, John Reese and Craig Duswalt. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure today to speak to you. Hope everyone's doing well.
Skiing. Took time out to meet with you guys. Loving life.
Excellent. John, how about yourself?
Well, I got to tell you, man, it's so nice to talk to you today. About 5 months ago, I moved to La Quinta, California, to the desert where Coachella and Stagecoach are. And what a magical place, man. It's just completely reinvigorated my soul. It's a place of wellness and of spirituality. And it's really invigorated my work ethic and my desire to go kick some fucking ass.
I'll tell you what you guys have planned is just amazing with this new venture. Before we get started and talking about it, can you just each of you just take a couple minutes and just give some of the background where you guys have been? I myself know that you're two veterans, but for those who aren't familiar, can you fill us in a little bit?
Yeah,
You want
I'll jump in first. So I out of college, I got a job working for the band Air Supply. I worked with them for 9 years as like a band assistant. Then I got off the road for a little while, and then I got a call from Doug Goldstein, the manager of GNR. He goes, "You ready to go back on the road?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" So then I toured with Guns N' Roses as Axl's personal assistant from 80, 90 or something to 94.
Wow.
And that's when I met John. But after Guns N' Roses, I became a speaker and I taught entrepreneurs how to become rock stars in their business. So I did that for the last 20 years. And about 6 months ago, my kids are all musicians, and I manage one of their bands called Thredge. And I wanted to, I knew the industry like 20 years ago, but I said, who do I know that is killing it in the music industry? So 6 months ago, I reached out to my good friend John Reese, and I just wanted to ask advice about, what the industry is like now. And to make a very long story short, we have now started a Breaking Into Music event that we're going to talk about. We have a podcast called That Damn Podcast. We manage bands, and we've done so much in the first 6 months together. And it was such a blessing that I made that phone call. I'm back in the music industry again after a little layoff, and I'm blessed to be in it and working with John.
So you're not taking it easy, I gather.
I'm 63 years old, John, and
I'm trucking,
I
man.
have
You're
more
right.
I have more adrenaline than than a regular. I don't know what it is. I don't
That's
know.
amazing, man.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
turn?
Your
My
turn.
turn?
Yeah, baby.
Honored to be here, honored to talk with you, bro. I've got a long 40-year history in the music business. I started in the security business in the 80s, started my own security company, eventually started doing a bunch of personal security for some major artists. And one of the guys that worked with me was Doug Goldstein, who became Guns N' Roses manager. And in 89, 88, 89, he called me, he said, "Man, screw the security business. Well, let's get into real rock and roll." And I then became Guns N' Roses tour manager, did a bunch of stuff with them, and starting in like '88. Did the Stone in LA shows with the Rolling Stones. Then we toured the world together. 28 years old, me and Craig and Doug were all just kids, and so was Axel, and so was Slash and the boys, and we got a big private jet and we took them around and played 300 stadiums all over the world over 3 years. So it was quite the experience that I will never, ever, ever, ever be able to replicate. And because there's no replication of that happening, it was a moment in time. They were the most prodigious rock band since Led Zeppelin, and nothing since then has come even close to that. So, I consider my life, if I'd have died at 31, 32 when this ended, my life would have been complete. But no, wait, there's more. I was a manager from like 1993 till 2006, managed some pretty massive bands, Danzig, The Used, worked with The Cure, didn't manage The Cure, but worked with The Cure, worked with managed the Stone Roses. Our company did Blind Melon, Candlebox, a lot of bands, and did a lot of deals. And I represented a few of the biggest producers in the world, a guy named Ross Robinson, who's really the godfather of nu metal and the godfather of emo. And we had a very successful run with Slipknot and Korn and Limp Bizkit and Sepultura and the list goes on, and John Feldman. So I did a lot of management things, and then a little thing called Napster came out, and I saw the writing
Remember
on
it
the
well.
wall. And I saw the writing on the wall, and I'm like, everything is about to change, and it certainly did. So, at that point, John Oakes, who worked for me, had made an introduction with Rockstar Energy Drink when they were a small company, about a $30 million company, and they were kind of shut out by Red Bull and Monster, and they decided to sponsor music festivals. So, first festival I did was with Robert Smith in 2004, called the Curiosa Festival. I mean, Muse was the headliner on the second stage. That went around North America. I got the bug, and then we launched, Kevin Lyman and I, who's founder of the Warped Tour. We launched the Taste of Chaos, and the Taste of Chaos played, I think, 25 countries all over the world. And then I really had the bug. The band that I was working with at the time, they used, was the headliner with Mike Kim, who had just come out, and we blew doors and we sold out arenas all over the world. Then, from there till 2019, created 53 different music festivals, created, co-created, produced 53 different music festivals, including, the Mayhem Festival, a number of touring festivals, the Oddball Festival, Comedy Festival, where we brought Dave Chappelle back. A huge EDM festival called Lost Lands with a DJ named Excision. Helped with the Ohana Festival with Eddie Vedder and Rich Best and Mark Smith. And, really was in the business of curation, where I would work with major artists and then create lifestyle events around what their fan base wanted. And we were massively successful until we weren't in 2019.
Right.
Had a really huge, pretty big company, but on the scale of a Live Nation or an AEG, not a big company, but one of the largest independent companies in the world, and had a really, really bad summer. So from there, got into the natural medicine space, and was always tangentially involved in music. Met Craig, produced some big festivals at the Rose Bowl and a few different things just on the production side. And now I'm back in the creation side, and with Craig, creating, breaking into music, and our management company. We've got three amazing artists, a young artist named Chain Saint, who are blowing it up right now on the Warped Tour, on a bunch of festivals, and 16, 17-year-old kids that are playing thrash metal in the vein of Metallica and Slipknot or Slayer, Anthrax, and they're unbelievable. Craig's son's band Thredge, who are amazing, just finished doing an EP with Steve Evans, and then another band out of the Calabasas area called Of That Nature, who are Rage Against the Machine meets Primus meets the Deftones
Oh,
meets Tool, and
wow.
they're really badass, and they just finished an EP as well. So management, but breaking into music is, and then we're also diving back into the festival game, and we've got our first event coming in November of this year. Details to follow on that one, but breaking into the music is, I think, really what on this call or on this interview and this chat is something that we're super super excited about. And the vision of it was actually inspired by one of the mentors. So a brief description of what it is we're bringing 24 mentors from the music industry, some of the top names, top trailblazers, groundbreaking people, entrepreneurs, 24 of them that are coming together in the desert in Indio, California, 1,000 yards away from the Coachella main stage, at this glorious, beautiful property that's so zen and so cool. And we're bringing these 24 people together over 3 days. We're throwing a couple of parties, and we're doing 9-hour sessions with 24 amazing folks that are going to help young people or old people understand what it takes, and the drive and the passion and the experience to become very very successful in the music business. Each of our mentors is at the top of the game in what they do. We have Rich Best, who's probably one of the biggest promoters on the planet right now. Also happens to be my best friend, Rich best friend, and he does Rufus Du Sol, he does Pearl Jam, he does He does Foo Fighters. He does Linkin Park, and the list goes on. And he's just an amazingly talented person. And he'll be one of our. He's our first keynote speaker. And we have John Feldman, a legendary artist and legendary record producer who's produced countless platinum artists. Has written tons of #1 songs and huge songs. We have Matt Sorum, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member, Grammy winner, drummer for Guns N' Roses, The Cult, and founder of Velvet Revolver. We got Corey Brennan, who's one of the biggest, not size wise, but talent wise, one of the biggest managers in the world. Slipknot, Megadeth, Baby Metal, Pennywise, and 38 other artists that his company 5B manages. We have Ryan Harlacher, the head of Rock at CAA. We have the biggest waste management guy. We have basically the entire music industry covered with our mentors. So if you can't be a rock star, but you want to support the music business in some way, whether it's as a talent buyer, a promoter, an agent, a concessionaire, a publicist, an insurance broker, a production person, we've got the expert in the desert May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for attendees to come, to learn, to network. And these mentors are people that will be frank and they will be so informative for the attendees that come to our event. So to say we're excited is an understatement. There is no Music U, besides Musician Institute, whom we're partnering with, by the way. And we're just super excited for the chance. For me, what is a 63-year-old, 40-year veteran of this business? What is the thing that gets me off the most? It's watching a young person or a person in general being able to fulfill their dream and to either become a rock star or become the best promoter. And Casey McKee is the last story. In 2009, she came to work with me and Lyman as an intern on the Mayhem Festival.
Okay.
15 years later, she's one of the biggest agents in the world, and represents One Republic and Megan Trainor, and just a delightful person. And she went to college, and she didn't know the next steps, and so we I'm not taking full credit, but we took her under our wing and we helped guide her to get to where she is today. And her story alone is worth the price of admission. So we're super excited. We think this is a valuable thing that sometimes you get lucky and the clock's right twice, a broken clock's right twice a day.
Yeah.
And I think we are creating something here that we can scale, that we hope to take, not only to Nashville, but to overseas as well. We'll see. We got to get the first one right, and we're excited to get going.
I mean, what's amazing, and you nailed it, John, is that you have every avenue covered in the music industry. You have artists, Matt Sorum. You have Live Nation. I mean, come on, we've all heard of them. Publicist, Amy Sherrado, record producer John Feldman, tour manager Matt Rosenblum. You have every avenue covered. Is Matt Penfield going to be there? I know
Well,
he
we're hoping
had
so.
some health
We're
issues.
hope we just added Josh Bernstein, his partner on
Oh,
Power
wow,
Hour.
cool.
Yeah, so he'll we're our prayers are with Matt. I mean, he's one of my dear friends. I've known Matt since the late '80s, I think, and we just hung out a while back, and we're hoping him a speedy recovery. We're definitely not taking him off because he's a fighter, man. So we're leaving him on the lineup, and we pray and hope that the healing powers that the universe go there and touch that man and make sure that he's able to attend, because I know he was super excited. He is super excited. Not was, is
Sure.
super excited to be there. So we'll see on Matt, but I don't I'm not able to say right at this moment. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fantastic event. And obviously, this past 10 or so minutes that we've been talking has been a great introduction to both of you. And it's a wonder you could see that Disrupt Artist Management Network, or DAM, coming together with this much knowledge of the music industry together. Can you tell me some more about this new venture with DAM? I've worked with a lot of local artists here in the Philadelphia area, and I always wanted to kind of see, how I could help them get along in their career, and obviously, more importantly, make more money. And that kind of seems like the model that you two have for this new venture.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, yeah.
you want to tackle that one, Craig? You
Yeah,
want me
I'll
to?
just touch on it first. So I've been doing these large seminars for entrepreneurs. I do rock star marketing boot camps, and we help regular entrepreneurs, regular people become rock stars in their industry. So when I went to John and I was all about, managing bands, we started thinking like, okay, so we're dealing with my son is in one band, Chain Saint, 16, 17-year-old kids, young kids also in of that nature. And John and I just have this passion for really, I've been helping business people in their careers. And there's something about, seeing the light bulbs go off in a seminar. You share something, some piece of knowledge, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, why am I not doing that in my business?"
Right.
I love that. And now to do it to kids and young people that want to be musicians or just want to get their feet wet in the industry is something that we wanted to do. So I came to John wanting to really just manage bands. But when we started talking, we are both like, damn, man, we know so many people in this industry that are friends of ours that we know can help other people that need help. I mean, one of the biggest questions when I toured with Guns N' Roses, I was Axl's personal assistant. And after almost every show, some kid would be backstage and say, I want your job. Where do I fill out an application to become an assistant? And
Yeah.
I'm like, there is none, it's who you know or who knows you. And that's why this event, these people, whoever comes to this, and you don't have to be a rock star. You don't have to want to be a rock star. You don't have to want to be a musician. But if you want to connect with people that are successful in their industry, which happens to be the music industry, why not come to this, learn how they became successful, learn what they do every day. Are they disciplined every single day? How they became successful. And that's what this was about. So it started as a management company. Then it turned into, let's do this event, breaking into music. And now we've grown into that damn podcast. So we do this podcast. We had the first one with Matt Sorum. We had 20,000 people look at it already because I'm good at podcasting. That's what I do in my other business.
Okay.
And we just now are taking this to another level with that damn podcast. So we have a podcast that shares interviews with very successful people. Then we send them to a seminar, and then we help manage them if they want to be in a band. But here's the other thing. I said to my financial planner today at Merrill Lynch, he said, I'm seeing everything about this breaking into music industry. Like, should I go to this? And he's a financial planner.
Okay.
And I'm saying to him, and John and I talked about this. Yeah, wouldn't you want to meet 24 really successful people it doesn't matter if it's the music industry, any industry. Don't you want to just meet them? What if one of them says, you know what? My financial planner sucks.
Right. I got to
I
work with
want to,
this guy. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Well,
Or,
and
I'm good, but maybe my friend might. And that's what this is all about, networking with successful people that have a common interest, music.
But
and
I don't want to glaze over the podcast though, because I watched the Matt Sorum and I watched the Threads, and it's not only your guest like Matt, who's been around the world several times, talking about his stories, but you really get some insight into the industry. Anyone,
Mm,
if you listen to music, if you play music, if you produce music, I got so much out of those just two podcasts.
yeah.
Um,
You know what? We're
it's so
excited about that
informative, man.
because, yeah, we're so excited about the podcast because, like I said, I know a lot of people. John knows everybody.
Yeah.
And what's happening is, I'm not going to even go into this new thing that we have going because it's baby steps right now. But this new thing that we have going for that damn podcast is even going to blow it up even better. But
Well,
John and I, all we're doing is literally having a conversation with our friends about the music industry. And it's not just like standard questions. What did you do here? It's just a conversation.
hmm.
And from that, like you said, it just grows into the what really happens backstage. What really happens when you're on tour. And that's what's exciting about that
And
whole
that's the cool thing because I've seen hundreds of shows. And, I've been lucky enough to, let's say, the past 10 years, had photo passes. So I'm up front as a
yeah.
being up in the way in the nosebleeds for the Kiss concert. I saw him back in '84 at the Spectrum in Philly. Now I'm up front. But to be backstage and to see what's going on, I've been lucky enough to have a couple of interviews backstage and just to see it's it's amazing. And to open that little world up to people is
Yeah,
tremendous, man.
very exciting.
Well, we're just scratching the surface on the podcast. It's going to be epic. We're going to get incredible guests. That's a given. That's exciting. I wish we could do one a day, but we can't. But anyway, the really, your first question was Disrupt Artist Management Network, and what is it? And ultimately, my philosophy is go big or go home. Sorry, that's just who I am. I worked and helped create Lost Lands and 130 dinosaurs from China, and all these big festivals with these big ideas and big concepts. Disrupt is a different kind of thing. I didn't want to just start a management company. That's not what this is. This is about the ability to find other ways to monetize. A prime example, I worked with Dave Mustaine, Megadeth, and Corey Brennan, and we brought 150 fans to Dave Mustaine's estate. Other ways where artists don't have to go be a fucking marionette and go get on stage, make your money, get on stage, make your money. We're trying to come up with other conceptual ideas and processes where artists can get their true value. So who knows what that's going to be, but imagination is everything, and then execution is the most important thing. So at the end of the day, we're going to go, like Tupac says, not get rich or die trying, but go kick ass or die trying. And that's what we're going to do. So, the sky's the limit on, I think, what anybody can do. If they put their mind to it, if they work their ass off, if they have the right idea, if they have opportunity, luck, passion, and intelligence behind them, they can do anyone can do anything they want to do. But you got to get up in the morning, you got to put your boots on, and you got to go. So we're super excited. We think that breaking into music could be a global thing. Who knows? I mean, we're going to do the first one. Hopefully, it sells out. You're going to help us do that, sir. And we're just excited to move this forward. My biggest passion is seeing young people achieve their dreams. And if we can do that in this, and if we can have success stories, then we win.
And you raised a great point, John, because with social media, TikTok in particular, everyone thinks that they're a musician. I can just record something and I'm out there. But of all those millions of people and millions of views, there's still a handful that are going to get to the GNR level. To get to that really high level, you have to have the passion. Obviously, you have to have good music, and you have to have the stick-to-itiveness to do it. And I think with what you guys are doing and with the breaking into the music industry, you can learn a lot from that.
Yeah, we're excited, man. It's about, our artistry and songs are the key, and artistry includes image. And it's a very, very competitive. There's thousands and thousands, millions of musicians. 97% of them don't make 97% of professional musicians do not make a subsistence living.
Right.
How fucked up is that?
Yeah.
So we want to try to change that. Whatever concepts and thoughts and ideas that we can come up with to help the supporting portion of the music industry as well as artists themselves, we're in. And that's what we want to do. That's my life's work. And I know Craig's passion as well. And so we're just going to go do this. We're going to put stuff out there. Hopefully we've thought it through to the point that it's successful. We've got some other big things coming as well that will be announced in the coming weeks. And it's an exciting time to be alive, bro. Though, because everything's changed. The whole industry is completely different than it was 15 years ago.
Very much
And
so.
so, we just have to find ways to allow artists to make a living doing this.
John Reese, Craig Duswalt, I hope you guys are very successful with this event. And I can't wait to see what else you guys have going on. I'm so honored to have this half hour to talk to you guys.
We are honored too, John. Really, really appreciate you. And we hope to see you at Breaking Into Music.
I'm thinking about going for
Get
sure.
your ass on a plane, bro. Let's go.
Come on.
Let's fucking go.
We're gonna have listen at this Breaking Into Music event. We're gonna have it's indoors, outdoors. There's an event space where the event will be, but we have this what is it 5 acres, John? 5 acres of land. We're going to set up lounges and areas. You can interview people there. Knock yourself out. Just come.
Well, and
Great.
the gift bag and the food alone make it almost free.
There you
You
go.
know, it's like you're gonna eat. You have to eat breakfast and lunch every day. You're getting it for free for 3 days. So why wouldn't you? And a big gift bag that's almost worth the price of admission. Look, it's a tremendous value. I don't want, I'm not a selly kind of guy, but I am. Because we hope this is successful so that we can go to Nashville and teach people, go to London and teach people, and bring these crazy intelligent human beings into a room that can help move people. So
Yeah.
Peace, thank you for having us on your show, bro.
Right on, guys. You guys have a good afternoon. Keep Philadelphia and New York on your list too. Come on up here to the East Coast and let's talk about it as well.
Love
Peace
it.
and metal, bro.
Right on,
Awesome.
guys. Take care of yourself.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.